We come now to number 8 in our series, Growing in a Relationship with God. This one is having faith. And we need to unpack that statement before we can go any further, I think, because sometimes we say, well, you just need to have faith, as if it's something that we need to be doing for ourselves, and we can generate faith because faith is what we need and so on. But what is faith really? Faith is trusting God. The essence, the emphasis really does need to be on God and not on us, because we can say we have faith when really we should be saying we trust a trustworthy God. And the emphasis definitely has to be on the God side, not on the human side. That's my first point. And as we look at some of these statements, we're given some very good biblical material. The Pharisees come to Jesus in Mark 8 and say, we want a miraculous sign from heaven. They're not convinced by all the miracles of healing, all the miracles of feeding. Right after the feeding of the 5,000, they come and ask. And then there's the feeding of the 4,000 and all the other things like that. They want a miraculous sign from heaven. In other words, they want something dramatic, maybe some sign written in the sky or something. Then they'll have faith. Then they'll trust him. And Jesus says, an evil and adulterous generation asks for that kind of sign. You have the sign of me here. Isn't that enough? And then we have on the other side of the coin the story of the Canaanite woman's daughter and the healing that Jesus performed there in Luke chapter 7. And isn't that a wonderful example of trusting in Jesus? Even when he gives her that comment about it's not right to take the children's food and give it to the dogs, when she replies, but yeah, you can still have the crumbs, and all I'm asking for is a crumb. And he says, well, because of that answer, because of your trust in me, I'm going to give what you want. And that, to me, is exactly what our faith, if you want to use that word still, is all about. It's trusting God for all the things that we need in life. And when it comes to Ephesians 2 verse 8, in the Free Bible version, you've been saved by grace through trusting in him. It's not through yourselves. It's the gift of God. And when Paul adds that second part to the verse, it's not through yourselves, it's the gift of God, that gives the lie to the idea that we generate faith. No, it's our trust in God that brings the result, and it's not from ourselves, it's God's gift to us. And that's what we really do need to be thinking about as we consider what faith is all about. And Ken Sanders says, trusting God does not mean believing he will do what you want, but rather believing he will do everything he knows is good. And isn't that what we should be looking for? Not just satisfying our demands and what we think we need and what we want in life. And Corrie ten Boom, never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God. Yes, we don't know what the future holds, but we know God. And that should give us confidence, hope, trust, yes, in him. And that one from, let me say it right, Amaka Imani Nkozo Zasana. I'm guessing somewhere from Africa, but this is really good. When God takes out the trash, don't go digging back through it. Trust him. And sometimes we go back through, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Yes, that was wrong. Oh my goodness, I need to be forgiven. And you keep on going back and replaying it over and over and over again like a warped record or something. And that is not helpful. Take your issue, your problem, whatever it might be, to God and accept his forgiveness and move on. Don't go digging back through the trash. I like that. And then I just want to bring up the whole idea of blind faith. Should you have blind faith? Some people say, oh yeah, that's the best kind of faith because you're trusting and you don't even know. And I go, that's ridiculous. To have blind faith is I think it's reprehensible, because it's basically saying to God, I don't care about the evidence. I'm just going to believe whatever I want. And Robert Schuller says, faith is no irresponsible shot in the dark. It is a responsible trust in God, who knows the desires of your hearts, the dreams you're given, and the goals you have set. He will guide your paths right, not an irresponsible shot in the dark. Let's remember that, and let's trust in our trustworthy God.